Hey guys, it's Noah here, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to tape a 39-inch saber from DCI and DSI. But I don't think it really matters where your saber comes from or what length it is. This is just a way that I prefer to tape my saber, one, because I find it easier and it's more beneficial for your saber, I would say, and it makes it cause less damage whenever you drop it over and over and over and over again, wherever you're practicing, whether if it's the street, the sidewalk, your garage, for winter guard, on the field, during competition, like whenever, whatever. But the things that you will need is your saber, some black tape, your white tape for your blade, and then the black tape would be for your hilt or the butt. I already taped mine, but what you would do is you will just put it on this end right here, and then you'll just start wrapping it all up and around through here until you come to this point, and make sure you cover up the little bolt right here, which you can screw in so it doesn't, sorry, hold on, wait. Make that noise, but mine makes that noise because of the brand that I got mine from. I ordered mine off of the band shop, and the place that I highly recommend you getting yours from is the band shop if you want yours to be lightweight. 39s are not as curved as 36s. 36s are more curved and they're harder to spin, but the 39s are less curved and they're more long and they are easier to spin. So basically, whenever you're going to do, like, let's say drop spins and tosses, it's more easier to do them on the 39 because you have a whole lot more room to work with than on a small saber, which I would say about, like, that's a 36 right here. From here down, that's about a 36, and it would be more curved. It's like, it would be more like this. It'd be more like this, and that's harder to spin because it's such out of curve. This one's barely out of curve, and it's longer too. But without further ado, we're going to tape this. So a little way that I like to do this, I like to tape it twice. So right here at the beginning of your blade, it should be a little thick up until right here. It should be a thick piece of metal right here, and then from here all the way down should be one thin piece of blade. It shouldn't get any thinner except for the very tip. So what you should do is grab some white tape. This is brand new. You can get yours at Home Depot for $6 each, which is so ridiculous. Can't believe this. This right here is $6. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to place it on the very edge, not on the hilt, but on the very edge of the saber. And then you're going to wrap it around that one area really good. I like to do it about like 1.5 rotations, and just like that. You're going to tape it and you're going to pull it really tightly around the thick area because you don't want to make that thick area any heavier than it already is. So you would just tape it all the way around and try to make it to where it doesn't catch any air bubbles in there, because air bubbles are ugly and we don't like air bubbles. I would say just like that. And then until the thickness is gone, just keep doing it just like that. And then once you get past your thickness part, do not, unless you want to continue stretching it and pulling it to where it doesn't, to where you save some tape, because I always believe if you stretch your tape out, the more tape you save. So I would just let it be that thick tape that it already is, instead of pulling it, making it thinner. So I would do that all the way up the blade, and then doing that a second time for an extra layer of thickness, so whenever you drop it, it doesn't immediately damage the blade itself. It'll like damage the tape underneath it. But over time, it will wear down and go onto the actual blade. So after, like, if mine is really looking damaged and stuff, I would retape it and redo those 2 layers. But I won't necessarily redo the whole, or like the basket, because there's no need to really untape that unless you're just putting a few pieces of black tape over this part right here, which would take the most impact because of all the droppings that you would have done. But yeah, try to avoid any air bubbles and just, I would avoid taping like up all the air bubbles and just try to go over them and act like, oh yeah, whoops, my bad. I won't do that the next time. I wouldn't do that. I would just try my best to not get them on there, and if you do, just like go back and like redo them. And this is my saber I've already taped, but I had to go undo it because I want it to be really perfect for winter guard, because I practice every single day, and I spend 39s at winter guard for as a sophomore in high school, and I'm already on a 39, which is insane to me, but you know, we all have our ways. That looks ugly. I'm gonna redo that one. Yep. Okay, gotta make them all look even. Is that a crease? Yep. Okay, just gonna fix that. Just like that. And it's important to try to make your saber look nice and neat as possible, because sabers are not really meant to look, you know, with tape just slammed on there like a rifle. A rifle is built to take impact a lot of the time, so I would just recommend not really worrying about taping your rifles that well, except for the tip and the butt, but that's not about this video. This video is about taping a saber. But yeah, I would just continue going all the way around this with your white tape, trying to avoid any air bubbles, air pockets, whatever you want to call them. And this is my first year spinning saber, and I am already on weapon line. I am a, let's see, I'll just tell you guys a couple facts about me. So one little fact about me is that I am actually a, what is it? Vets. I am a vet. And you become a vet after you spend your first season either in marching band or winter guard. So you just have to spin in a marching band for 1 year or spin in winter guard for 1 year, and then you're automatically a vet, because it only takes 1 season. And marching band is a season. The same year for a winter guard is a season as well. So, yeah. But yeah. And who's seen Avatar Fire and Ash? It's a really good movie. Highly recommend it. And so yeah, you will just continue going all the way up to your saber, to the tip, and I would try to avoid stretching them, because especially if your saber is thin bladed, meaning like it's really thin, I would not stretch it. I would want to take as much thickness of the tape as possible, because the thickness of the tape is what's going to like save your hands whenever you go to catch it. Because saber, guys, let me just tell you guys, it's the most painful piece of equipment you can possibly spin during high school, because whenever the blade, whenever you toss it and stuff, all that force in that motion, whenever you toss it and stuff, it's spinning at a really fast speed, and it's coming down way faster than when you tossed it. So whenever it's coming back down, a thin piece of metal, when it's spinning really fast and it comes down and it hits your hand, that's gonna hurt, especially even when you wear gloves. So I would make sure you would thicken it up twice. So like make the blade thicker, especially if yours is thinner like mine. If you get yours from the band shop, theirs are really, really thin. And then once you get to the very top, I'd like just to go up a little bit, and then I will close it off. And then if there's still like some like little flap at the very top, I will take it, I will bend it, put it, and I will pull it down onto the side of the saber, and then I will tape over it, trying to get that to go down. Just like that. And then I'll just pinch together whatever else is up at the top, and then there you go. You have your saber that is nicely taped all over it. That is really, really nice and clean, as you can see. But that is only one round. I still need to do a second round, but yes, this is what it looks like. And I will come up to you and show you what it looks like when it's fully done. But again, we're going to start down here at the very bottom. And we're going to do it like this again. And then I'm just going to try, I'm not going to pull the second one tight because, I don't know, I'm just too lazy right now, but and then I'll just pull this one all the way around for a second time. And what the tape does, it acts as a little rubber protection, silicone little protection that my saber from Amazon came in. Do not recommend, do not buy any rifle or saber off of Amazon unless you are a freshman and you're wanting to get a rifle to practice drop spins, not tosses, drop spins on. I would allow that. Because their rifles and sabers are not good. Do not buy off of Amazon for any color guard equipment or flags. Some flags are okay, but I will not recommend buying any rifles or sabers off of their website. I don't care if it says DCI or DCI Incorporated. No, it's basically a scam. You don't want to buy those because that's not going to be good quality, and their sabers come with plastic hilts. So like, you know, mine's metal, theirs is plastic. And it's easy to break, especially when they're plastic, because if you're in color guard, you know that you're going to drop stuff and it's going to get scuffed up, because eventually color guard equipment does get scuffed up, because, you know, they're meant to take impact and they're meant for high tossing and to rotate properly. And so the weight has to be correct. And if something is made out of plastic, it's not going to be the correct weight and stuff like that. And so my saber from Amazon, the blade was really, really thick, and it was not a 36. It was like a 35 and a half. You know what? No, actually, it was like a 35, maybe a 34 and a half. It was not a 36, because I ordered me a 36 saber. And it came with that silicone protection over it, and so I took that off because I didn't need that, and I just taped it like I would with a normal saber. And let's just say that did not end well, because I think they thought that the silicone needed to be on there when it really didn't need to, and so without it, it spun really weirdly. And for a long time, I could only spin that saber because I gotten so used to the weight that I couldn't spin any other piece of saber, but yeah. Also, there's also this website called King Rifles and King Sabers. King Rifles and King Sabers are completely different. One's obviously rifles, the other one is with sabers. But if you order your saber off of King Sabers, those sabers are thicker and they're not as skinny and thin as the ones from the band shop, so therefore you would basically only need to tape it once, because it's already heavy, and by adding more tape to it would just make it heavier, and it would make it really hard to toss because it's so heavy. But unless you really like a lightweight saber and you get yours off of the band shop and you don't want to tape it twice, be my guest. You don't have to, but I just prefer heavy rifles and heavy sabers because they just feel better to me, and they're not, because you can get higher tosses out of them with them, and for like a lightweight saber you can't really do that. All right, so there it is. I'm gonna come up to y'all so I can show you guys the saber. This is the hilt Obviously, this is what it looks like because I've dropped it so many times, but I'm not going to untape that. But this is what it should look like. This right here. Yep. All the way down the blade. And so if I spin it, you should be able to have full grip over it. And it shouldn't slide from here, because if it's like sliding from your, I don't even know how to demonstrate that, but if it's sliding from your hands, then I think that it's either the tape you're using or something else. I don't know what. Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, the saber feels really good. The weight feels amazing. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to tape cheater marks. Cheater marks are so easy. You just gotta know the right way how to do them. Okay, take 2 fingers, left-handed, right-handed, doesn't matter. Actually, sorry, take 3 for now. And then you're gonna find the point where it balances out on your fingers. And then when you're ready, remove 1 finger so it only has 2. And see that? That's basically leveled with me. That's technically leveled. If I go down a little bit, it's not really weighted correctly, so we're gonna scoot down just a little bit. Then I'm gonna remove 1 finger and see which one is. And if they're both incorrect, try to find that one spot that kind of balances it both out. For mine, it's right here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to hold, and I'm gonna pinch that area right there, and then I'm going to take my tape. You can either wrap it around the blade, or you can put it on one side of the blade, which is what I like to do, so then it's not so noticeable on, just so it's noticeable on one side, just like this. So then from the audience, it looks like a clean blade, just like this. So from my point of view, I see this. So then whenever I'm doing my drop spins and I do my tosses and stuff, I can see the black mark, which is where my cheater mark is. So if we need to, if they say, hold your saber at the bottom cheater and do flourishes. Okay, I'm gonna grab my bottom cheater, and then I'm going to do flourishes. Can't really do them because of my bed, but I'm going to do flourishes with my saber. If they want left-handed, bottom tape, just grab it. Can't really do it because of my bed and my fan. But yeah, that's what you would do. And for the top, for your top, I would just say, I mean, let's see. My best bet would I would take a drumstick and measuring it from the bottom of your cheater mark right here. And if it goes all the way up, so mine would be right here, then I would tape it right there. So it's about the same length as you would normally tape it with a tape measure, sorry. Except you're just using a drumstick, and it's basically the same length. You're just using a drumstick. And so this is what it looks like now, so you can both see them. This is the audience's point of view. Sorry. The audience's point of view, a nice clean blade. And then this is my point of view, so whenever they say drop spins, you can grab your area, and then you can do drop spins on that cheater mark. Or somewhat on that cheater mark. Your drop spin spot is normally going to be like right here. Not exactly on there, but you would start on your, you would start on your top mark, and then you would do drop spins, and then your hand would move just about to right here where you can basically only see your cheater mark. And yeah, that is how you tape a 39-inch saber. This goes for your 37.5-inch sabers and your 36 sabers. So Let me know if you have any questions. And without further ado, have fun spinning and be safe and wear gloves. Be safe. Bye.